Hey guys, how's it hanging? So, it's been a while since I been making a YouTube video. Um, I've just been working at a gas station, and now I'm not. I feel okay. I think though that in retrospect, this wasn't going to be a long-term uh, arrangement because of how um, it's like when you do a job and you know that right off the bat that this is not going to work out long term. I mean, I was just not happy working there. It was a really toxic environment to say the least. So yeah, even though I'm back to square one right now, trying to see if where the next job is at. Where am I going to go from here? I'm just wondering about that. But I'm actually not worried. Um, no, I feel fine. I mean, I think what people have to keep in mind is that at the end of the day, mental health uh, plays a role. Mental health, you got to take care of your mental and physical health because they both go hand in hand. Um, yeah, I mean, it's good if you want to make money. Um, like I was saying earlier in my last video, making money is. But some people, they do that as a means to an end, and sometimes people, they lose their minds, they go crazy. I'll give you an example. Because some of these people that I had to work with at night, customers, okay, I'm just throwing it out there, truth. A lot of them, they were coming in at night. I've seen people. They looked pretty messed up. Some were alcoholics, some were under the influence. I had to be that guy to serve them alcohol and cigarettes. I was starting to feel like I was becoming a merchant of death. In the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? Is this guy okay? So, yeah, I mean, there comes a point, sometimes people they got either too much money, you know, sometimes they throw it away on stupid stuff like gambling or smoking or drinking. I don't do any of that stuff. I mean, I tried it, but I didn't like it. Nope. In fact, yeah, I mean, it's probably not something I want to become a part of, like, even just passively doing it. I mean, yeah, my conscience told me, yeah, I need to get out of here. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise, or maybe I'm just trying to see the glass half full. And but the reality is I got to keep on working, so I have to try and get back out there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Um, Come next week, I'm just taking it day by day right now. Yep. I mean, I'm probably not gonna get too many followers on YouTube anyways because some of the stuff that I've been uh, trying to share on YouTube, like what had happened during the pandemic. Um, yeah, I would rather not talk about that. I remember it. Yes, I remember everything. Um, I know about, yeah, the Kool-Aid shots and how people's lives were uprooted. That was a terrible time. It's like the world just shut down. Some people I've talked to, they still feel it. They feel the aftermath. And honestly, I think that's why a lot of people, they ended up turning to the bottle because they were just depressed, dealing with hopelessness. I have to say this off the record. My employer, my boss, he's not my boss anymore, but he fired me. But he was really upset about the fact that um, that I was against giving alcohol to customers at night because I was afraid of what would happen if I did. One of my coworkers, she was an old lady. She said, "Oh, use your best judgment." So I did. I mean, that was just one of the reasons why I'm no longer working there. Uh, in his words, we have to, uh, push product. Uh, we got to protect our assets, and my job was just to sell it, just sell it. At some point, yeah, during my time working there, I was asking myself, what am I doing? Is this really what I want to be doing with my life? My life. I mean, people can hate me like for having an opinion, but I mean, at some point I got to be real. Um, yeah, I want better for my life. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. And no, I didn't quit. Even when it got hard, in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be here. No, that's happened. I feel like I've kind of been thrown under the bus a little bit. I mean, I could have had some help to be, you know, to find a better job. I mean, I wish I had friends in the city. I don't. I don't. It's a really cutthroat uh, place in the city. Nobody really cares. When you're a man, I'm supposed to be a man. I mean, um, I don't really know anyone. I mean, I don't trust anyone really. It's sometimes I think, you know what, after what I've seen, it's probably better to be alone. Because you know what, I have opened up to people, but I gave my best to the wrong people, I feel. And people say, "Oh yeah, your videos are not, your editing is pretty good, but your videos are depressing." Maybe, maybe it's because the world is a little bit depressing. I mean, I have to talk about things that are real. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. Do you want me to go? Do you want me to talk about video games? Do you want me to talk about Nintendo? Do you want me to do this all day and just talk about things that don't matter? I mean, listen. At some point, I was expecting to have help from good Christian folk who were supposed to help me to find a good woman, because women these days, it's hard to find a good woman these days. I'll just put it that way. So, I mean, clock is ticking, time. People keep wasting my time. And I'm not a little kid anymore, People, they think, they see me as a little boy. I'm a man. I mean, I had to shave off my beard a few times in the past couple months. In a few years, I'm going to be 40. And looking back, I'm going to look back with regret. If I don't say something tonight and say, yeah, I've trusted the wrong people. I wish that I had found better people in my life, but I'm forced to living alone because I'm dealing right now with problems between, it's personal, between myself and my family and other such people who I put my trust into, my trust. And people, they let me down. People, they think that that's acceptable. No. I mean, what goes around comes around. And then people complain and they cry And they wonder, well, where have all the good men gone? Gee, I wonder, where do you think that they went to? If you're not helping men, like good men who are down on their luck and they need a break. We're not made of stone. We're only flesh and blood. But if society doesn't, lend a hand, say, here, son, are you okay? Let me help you. No, that hasn't happened to me. Usually it's when I'm down, it's like, good luck. And I had to live with that. And people expect too much from guys like me, and I can't win. Every time I try to talk about issues, I either get shadow banned, and every time I try to reach out to help a person, they find a way to use that against you, or they don't understand why. I mean, it's pretty sad, the way the world is right now. Is it really that difficult to find good people online? Even so-called Christian groups. You know what? The truth always comes out in the end. Always. I mean, people, they talk a lot, but what do they do? Honestly, I mean, you know people by their deeds, their works. And I'm no one special. I'm just a guy. I'm just learning. I've learned a lot. I had to. I mean, my eyes are open now. I had to be woken up after seeing the reality, after years of research and doing all this stuff. Sometimes I would rather forget, but I can't. There's some people out there that they know the truth. I'm sure that they do. But they don't want to get involved. They don't want to, rock the boat. They don't want to do anything to upset the establishment, because people are, for the most part, they're looking after themselves. They're scared. I think, though, that if people, they actually done something, like actually stepped up to the plate, because everybody has to take some responsibility at some point. I mean, I thought that, I honestly really thought that there would be some people out there. I met a guy the other night, was working at a electronics department in a store. I'm not going to say where. But he reminded me, all this time I've just been surrounded by the wrong people. It's taken months of my life, just running in circles, serving alcohol and cigarettes in a gas station, just going back and forth between work and home, just collecting paychecks. It wasn't even 40 hours a week either. I'm really, looking back, I wish I had my time back so that I can not work there. But if you want to know something about regret, no. I mean, if you feel depressed about something, say it. Even if nobody cares, at least know that you don't keep it bottled up inside. What you don't do is run to the bottle or start any addictions, because I've seen it. I've seen people go down that road, and it's not a good road to go down. You don't want to go down that road. Trust me. It's not good. And if you can, try to help out your fellow man. I mean, just do it because it's the right thing to do. Do it because don't be that guy that says, oh yeah, well, no one else did anything for me, why should I care? People need to care, because if nobody cares, then how are people gonna survive? How is society expected to thrive, if everybody's looking after their own selfish interests only. And that was what was on my mind tonight. I don't want to talk about my personal life too much because, number one, I mean, this is YouTube. I'm putting myself out there in the digital abyss, and but at some point, I know that this wave has to crash, and people, they have to know what's going on and tell people my story. That's it. I'm done.